Okay, so I welcome everybody for the webinar of SolidWorks simulation. So I request everybody to keep their microphone on mute so that it will be easy for everybody else to hear what I am talking in this webinar. There will be no disturbances. So let us begin. So myself Gaurav Harne, I am working as an application engineer in engineering technique. So today's our topic is to predict the product performance earlier. Correct? So as we all know, simulation also plays very important part, right? We need to check our product whether it is safe or not once our CAD model is ready. Okay, let me just open this. Yeah. So the agenda of today's webinar is what we will check what is the impact of validation, why it is necessary and why we should do it, why each and every company should try to validate their products after the design is completed. Then we will go on to the linear static analysis. We will understand what is the pre-process, what meshing is, what is the post-process, etc. Then we will go on in parametric design studies in which we will make few corrections in our design and then check whether my design is safe or not by changing some parameters like thickness, etc. I think there are people coming in, so let me just admit them one by one. Yeah, thank you for joining. Yes, so after the parametric design, we will go on to the next part of analysis, which is fatigue analysis. Because of repetitive loads, we need to check whether my model is safe or not. We need to design it for life. Design for life is one of the very important criteria. Every product has its own, we can say, life. Either it can be 5 years, 10 years, etc. So we need to be sure for how much years of life my product would withstand. So for that, fatigue analysis is very important. And lastly, we will conclude with the topic of motion analysis. Correct? Going ahead. As my first topic is to what is the impact of simulation. To improve the product quality, we need to prepare reliable or we need to produce reliable products. We have to filter out the weaknesses. We need to design our product such that it is having sufficient product life. Now, what we studied right now in this slide, what you are looking at are some of the issues which usually industries face. Once the product is designed, there may be some quality issues due to which the product may not function as per the requirement. There may be failures. So we need to study what is the impact of simulation on quality. Then if we talk about the impact of simulation on time, we need to reduce the project length. Now at the bottom you can see one typical project cycle starting from project concept, project design, testing, then we do manufacturing. So testing over here means is the physical testing, the actual testing what we do in the laboratories. Then once it has been physically tested, we go for manufacturing, and once it is manufactured, we deliver it to the end customers. Now how we can reduce the project length? So with the help of simulation, you can quickly check multiple designs. Now if I take an example of a simple hair dryer, so there are various designs in front of me. So which is the best design which will not fail or which is actually much more user friendly to the customer? So we are having 10-15 designs. We can create the models, we can analyze it simultaneously and then come to a conclusion that this design is suitable. So likewise, we can virtually validate these products before we manufacture. So in physical testing, creating each and every time product, then doing the testing is very difficult, time consuming, as well as it is very costly. Next is earlier detection of potential issues. Now if you manufacture any product, we have to detect any potential issues in it. The issues which might occur when the product is actually in its use by the end customer. So that thing can be earlier detected with the help of analysis. For example, it is failing from any part, or the material is not suitable for this product. So we can predict this earlier, and we can make some changes and again go ahead with the analysis and then manufacture the product. Trial and error process. Now many of the industries actually rely on this trial and error process. Correct? Now I will not say this is a wrong process, right? But it is again very time consuming process. So that thing can be reduced. Again, time spent on hand calculation. Whenever FE analysis comes in mind, most of the customers, they do hand calculations with the various formulas. Correct? Now that is suitable. I will not say that is 100% wrong, but it is usually done for any simple products. But what if I say I want to do hand calculation of a gear whenever it is put in motion? That is very difficult, or I can say it is time consuming, right? So in such cases, we actually rely on simulation. So these are some of the impact of time if we use simulation. So I like to conclude by saying that in this typical project cycle, we actually are combining the project design and testing, right? So where whatever we design, we validate it in the software, and then whatever we manufacture, it is fit for use. There are no any failures once it has been manufactured and delivered to the customers. Then we can reduce the cost also. So these are general advantages if we use simulation on costing point of view. Outsourcing cost. Now most of the companies, or I'll not say most, but majority of the companies, they do the modeling, right? Then they outsource the analysis part to any other company, service company, because they are not having analysis software in-house. Correct? So they can actually cut the outsourcing cost, material use, right? You can reduce the material if you are using too much bulky component, right? So you can reduce the material. Prototyping cost can be reduced. Shipping cost, again, whenever you want to do the physical testing, you will have to actually transfer your product from one place to another place. So these are all costs that can be impacting on your analysis if you are not using. So you can increase the performance and quality, you can reduce the time, and with this you can even reduce the cost. So this was one general idea what is the importance of simulation. Now going ahead, so we have covered the impact of validation, very generalized term. Now going ahead into the actual analysis part. So I will be carrying out few analysis in the software, and we will see how easy it is to integrate your CAD and FEA. So let us move ahead into the linear static analysis. Now I am having different options over here. Which bracket is the best? Correct. Now these brackets are used for load carrying purposes. So I have even applied ribs on the brackets. As we know that the ribs are actually the load carrying. So whenever there are much loads, we try to provide certain features which will help us in taking the load. Correct. Now the ribs will be fixed to the column, right, with the help of bolts. Now I am having here with me different types of ribs and different location of holes. I want to be sure which is the best design. So what I will do, I'll apply the load, I'll apply the fixture, correct, and I will do the analysis, and I'll come to a conclusion which is the best configuration, whether I should go for 2 ribs, whether I should go for 1 rib, right? Whether 3 bolts are sufficient or 2 bolts are sufficient, etc. So I hope you can now see my SolidWorks window over here. I have created a simple column, correct? And I have created a component over here, which will be bolted to the column, and it is my load carrying member. Now, SolidWorks is a 3D CAD software in which you can do part level, assembly level, and drawing, correct? And with that, you are having an option to carry out FEA analysis also. So within a single window, you can create your new studies. In my case, I want to create a new static study. So from different options of analysis available, I'll choose static study. Correct? So the first part which comes in my mind whenever we create any analysis is application of material. So what is the material of this product? So again, SolidWorks will provide you huge library of inbuilt standard materials from which you can choose. Also, there is an option to create custom material if that material is not available in SolidWorks library. Correct? Now this is my standard material library. So you can choose from this library, or else you can create a custom material by inputting all the values of properties. Correct? So the first things first, after the materials are applied to your assembly, the next thing what we do, we'll apply certain fixtures. Correct? Now we need to apply certain boundary conditions from where my assembly is fixed. As in this case, I have selected 2 faces, one at the top and one at the bottom. It is a fixed. So apart from fixed geometry, you can even apply roller, you can apply hinge type of fixture, etc. Correct? And finally, I want to apply load on the bracket. So from different types of external loads available, either it can be in the form of force, it can be in the form of torque, even you can apply bearing load, etc. I have selected this face and I will be applied certain 2000 Newton of load in the downward direction. Correct? So once all the boundary conditions are given, I'll run the analysis, and after your analysis is completed, SolidWorks will give us some colorful plots. Now these colors are easy to predict. That red color is the area from where the maximum stress is occurring. But we need to understand how to interpret the SolidWorks results, SolidWorks simulation results. Setting up the study is different thing and interpreting the result is different thing. Like over here, I am getting the maximum stress as 41 MPa in this rib area and near to this bolt. Correct? And the displacement what I am getting over is here is merely 0.192 mm. Also you can plot factor of safety. Correct? So FOS I am getting over here is 3. Now what if I want to change the design? Instead of 1 rib which is here, what will happen if I am using 2 ribs? Correct? So understand everybody that sometimes we try to create our product much more bulky than what it should be. So in that case, we need to be sure to create the product in such a way that it will take the load also and it will also save the material simultaneously. Correct? So all these things we need to consider when we design our product and when we analyze our product. Correct? It should not be too much bulky, which will again increase the cost of the product. Now let me go on to the next part. Like the parametric design study. Now you can look at the right hand side. There are 2 products in which I want to reduce the weight, but keeping in mind its it should not affect its functionality. Correct? We should not reduce too much of material from any product so that the product will eventually fail. Correct? So we need to create optimized design. It should not be too much bulky. Correct? And it should not be less material or else it will fail. So for that we are having this very good improved tool of design study. Again, let me introduce you to this design study. If a customer is trying to analyze this product with various types of loading conditions on it by various types of different brackets, correct? So over here, what I have done, I want to check this bracket by changing the load from 1000 Newton, 2000 Newton, etc. I want to even change the dimension of the bracket. Correct? For example, I want to change its height 4 inches, 6 inches. I want to change the width also 5 inches, 6 inches, etc. So different variables you can input over here. And what SolidWorks will do? It will create permutation combination and it will create different set of studies for you. And with one go, you can run all these studies and the results will be presented for you. Like if you talk about the first scenario, which is the combination of 1000 Newton load, the height is 4 inches and the width is 5 inches and the results will be given over here, right? If I go to the second scenario, again everything is same except the load, so we can see that the stress has increased from 42 for the previous study to 85 because I am doubling the load. Likewise, this is my third scenario in which height is 6 inches and width is 5 inches. Correct? Also, you can see at the bottom the results will be plotted for you and the model will be also automatically generated. There is no need to again create the model with these dimensions. The model will be automatically created for you. Now this is also a very good study if you want to finalize the load carrying capacity of your product. Correct? Now coming back to my static study. Yes, and let me highlight the results. We are having one more thing in SolidWorks. You can actually provide connectors, right? So connectors are basically used to glue the assemblies together. Like in this case, I have provided one bolt over here in this hole. Correct? So you can apply all the properties of connector to it. Like in this case, what is my head diameter? What is my shank diameter? Even you can select the material of your bolt. So this is a virtual bolt what I am applying over here. Correct? Also you can apply certain strength data. What is tensile stress area, etc. Even what should be the preload. Either it is in the form of torque or in the form of axial preload. Correct? And it will give you the results whether these bolts are safe or not. Pretty interesting. Now in this case, what it is telling me, with this combination, these bolts would be failing. Correct? So desired FOS is 2 but calculated is 1.4 from the analysis. So with the different scenarios what I have created previously, let me choose another one. For example, this scenario. Whether in this scenario the bolts are safe or not, we will just have a look. I'll just select the scenario, come back to my static study and let us check the results of the bolt, whether they are okay or not okay. So this will directly give you the outcome in the form of okay or not okay. Also it will give you detailed values of the bolts, right? That what is the shear force, what is the axial force, what is the bending moment of each and every bolt, which will again help you in procuring the size of the bolt, what should be the material of the bolt, etc. Again, moving ahead to the next part. So what we have done in design study, you can actually change the dimensions, even you can change the materials. If plain carbon steel, you are not sure whether it will be safe for your product, you can change it to AISI 304 or carbon steel, etc. And then with the different permutation combinations which SolidWorks will automatically create, you can finalize what is the best dimension of this product, what is the best material, and what load it will withstand up. Correct? So this will actually save your time in creating each and every time multiple studies. So within one go, you will be able to create 10, 15, 20, up to 100 number of studies you can create, and from there you can choose which is the best possible configuration for your product. So this is what we have seen with the variables. You will be able to create number of studies and then choose upon which is the best configuration of load, thickness, height, width, etc. So these are the different sizes and shape what I have done for this product. And you can finally create the videos which will be showcasing the different configurations of the product. So if I talk about the benefits, so automated best design. So SolidWorks will give you what is the best design depending upon the variables what you have input. You can reduce the weight, right? So creating bulky parts is again waste of money, waste of time, etc. So by this you can create optimized parts. It will have good stiffness also, improve the product quality and reduce the time to market. Eventually help you to remain competitive in this world. So these are few of the examples where this design study has been utilized to create optimized part. I hope you understood the importance of simulation until now, right? To reduce the material, increase the profit of the company. As I mentioned, mass optimization saves money without compromising the quality of the product. Now going ahead, I want to check the fatigue analysis, whether this product which I have created, will it withstand in the number of years? Correct? So whenever we purchase any product, there is a life written on it. It will withstand 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, etc. So what is the importance of that and why that life is printed on the product? So we need to understand each and every aspect of the product. If you talk about any product, there would be repetitive loading on it. Correct? So we need to design it for life. Now let me just introduce you to some of the lifespan of commonly disposed products. So you can see over here, whenever you dispose any product, the life of paper, then banana peel, rope, up to degradable plastic bag, it is 20 years. The life is 20 years of this product. If I go extend my reach, and the steel can, it can withstand in nature up to 50 years. And the glass bottle, it can remain for 1 million years. Like, I'm not talking about the glass bottle, but the important part is to understand the material of glass, the material of steel, the material of leather, plastic, etc. These all products withstand tremendous number of years in nature. Correct? So this is just a lifespan of some of the commonly used product which we see day to day in our life. Now let us talk in the mechanical terms. So many systems generate repeated variable loading. Because of rotating parts, there are vibrations. Correct? We need to again keep in mind, because of these small vibrations, the life of the assembly actually decreases. That's why we use various damping components, or we use dampers in our assembly so that vibrations are reduced, which will eventually increase the life of our product. Correct? So we need to understand each and everything. Like Why is the building great product very hard? Because 46% of new product launches fail. 75% actually do not meet their life goals. And 2 years is the average lifespan of a successful product. Now these are average values what I have taken. And 85% of all structural failures occur through fatigue mechanism. Correct? Now what is fatigue? Now everybody might have studied in their college days when in engineering that whenever there is repetitive loading, the fatigue occurs. I am unloading, loading. Again I am loading it, again unloading. This is a repetitive cycle. So because of that, fatigue occurs and the life of the product decreases. Now there are various stages of failure in fatigue. The first stage is a crack initiation. So because of repetitive loading, unloading, say after 1000 cycle, 1 million cycle, 10 million cycle, right, the product shows the signs of failure like the crack initiation, then there is a crack growth, and finally your product will collapse and it will fail. Correct? Now this is how the stages of failure you can see in the product. Now this is a lab tested product, and over here you can see much more exaggerated fatigue, crack, growth, initiation and failure stages. Now let me highlight you one case study in which I want to check which is the best possible crank design. Now this crank we see many times which is used in our bikes, in our bicycle, etc. Correct? Now this is a very common product, but because of repetitive cycling, we do pedaling, right? So there is loading and unloading coming up on this crank. So I need to check how this fatigue analysis with the help of SolidWorks simulation can be implemented on this crank. So these are few of the failures of the crank what I have showed you. Now let us jump into the scenario. Now these are few of the average things what I have calculated myself. So usually a cyclist makes 5 trips per week, spending just under 2 hours on the bicycle and covering 25 kilometers. Correct? Now if I again try to convert it on yearly basis, it comes to be around 1440 kilometers. Correct? Again I am extending the standard size of the wheel is 560 mm in diameter. So if I convert it, the circumferential, it comes to be around 1.76 meter, it will move forward. Correct? So if we could design the crank to last 7 million cycles, which is 70 lakh cycles, the cyclist can travel 12315 kilometers, that is 12,315 kilometers. So this is just simple Excel formulation what I have done and come to a conclusion to that if I want to achieve the target of 12,000 kilometers, it should last 7 million cycles. Correct? I hope there is no doubt in this scenario that I have kept in front of you. So we would say we could issue 8.5 years of warranty to the cyclist by this estimation. Correct? Now this is my crank with the sprocket and all the pedal assembly. Now my design criteria is the weight of the cyclist coming up on the pedal. I have taken 133 kg. I have taken the worst load scenario over here. So some of you might be wondering, 133 kg on one pedal is not suitable or it is not practical. Correct? But we have to design the product considering the worst case scenario. And as previously mentioned, it should withstand 7 million cycles. So I am having here in front of me 3 different designs of crank, and I want to check which is the best design which could meet all this requirement of 7 million cycles, which is 8.5 years of life. So how SolidWorks simulation would help you in this? Correct? Now this is my simple mechanism, right? I have just created this animation from SolidWorks, how it will actually be functioning. Now I will just simplify this model. I don't want to check the analysis on those all sprockets, so I will just reduce that gear mechanism over there, and I will keep only the parts which are necessary for analysis, not the entire assembly. So if I want to check the strength of this component of this crank, there is no need to include the entire bicycle, correct? We can just filter out the product of which we are interested and do the analysis. Okay, so let me jump on to the part. Again, one good thing about SolidWorks is you can create different configurations, correct? So within one part, I have created different designs. Like this is my first design with the entire assembly of this sprocket. Then I have just simplified it. This is my second design, correct? And likewise third design. Okay, so you can even see its feature history. So let me just collapse the items. Yes. And I will jump on to my analysis part. Okay, let me extend this and activate the configuration. Okay, so it is activated and my design is changed according to the configuration. Again, material over here, T6 6061 material is applied to all the parts, correct? And I have applied a fixed hinge over here at these two locations. One is at the center and another is at this all 5 holes. It will be a hinge type of fixture. And then the load is applied on this pedal, which is 1350 Newton or 133 kg. Then what I have done, I have done the meshing. Correct. Now SolidWorks is also having very good in features in the meshing. As you can look closely, I have applied a fine elements or fine meshing has been done at the areas where what I predict the failure might occur. Correct. At this joint area. So you can likewise create mesh according to your requirement, whether you want to have high quality mesh, low quality mesh. So again, meshing is also extensively covered in SolidWorks. And finally, let me check the result. So 133 kg of load is applied and I'm getting the stress as 215 MPa. Now we all know the material yield strength is 275, which is again highlighted at the bottom. So we are sure that this part is not failing under yielding, since the maximum stress is less than the yield strength. Correct? Now let me check the displacement. So various cut plots are automatically generated. So like displacement I am getting to be around 4.2. So with the help of various post-processing techniques, you can do animation and check in which direction the displacement is occurring. Correct? And so on. Like I want to even check what is the factor of safety. Depending on the loading conditions and the material, factor of safety I am getting to be around 1.28. So normally in engineering we usually take FOS to be around 2 to 2.5. Correct? Now, so this is little bit worrying to me. The factor of safety is just above 1. Now let me jump on to the fatigue analysis of the same component, of the same design. So whenever you do fatigue analysis, the important thing is you will have to apply the fatigue data to your material. So fatigue data is nothing but your stress versus number of cycle curve. So it is different for different materials, correct? So again, those data you will have to input. So what graph you are actually looking at is N is the number of cycle, S is the stress value in MPa or in Pascal, whatever may be. So let me just change the unit to MPa, correct? So when the number of cycles is 1000, so what does this number of cycle mean? 10,000 or 1000 times the loading and unloading will be done. One unloading and loading will be one cycle, correct? Two times if we do loading and unloading, it will be two cycle. Likewise, 1000 number of loading and unloading, the material stress is 289 MPa. But if the number of cycle increase, so at the bottom you will see it has increased tremendously. That's why the stress has reduced to 80. So you agree with this, right? So if the number of cycle increase, the stress eventually reduces. So you need to have this data with you. We need to apply in the fatigue, correct? So once this is done, we will run our analysis and it will show you where the maximum damage will occur. This is my damage plot. That 100% damage is occurring in this red area. Even at one area it is more than 100, means this product is failing. Okay, now what is the life in number of cycles this product can withstand? It is 3.9 million only. At the bottom we can check. So wherever there is maximum damage, the life will be minimum in that region. So it is 3.9 million, which is mentioned at this bottom. Correct? Now if you remember, my criteria was 7 million cycle. Again, this is not satisfying. So likewise, you can do multiple analysis. So let me jump on to the next set of analysis or the next design. So I will just activate this configuration and you can see the change in the design what I have made in the second part. Yes, see, I made the changes in this area. So with the small amount of change, whether there will be drastic change in the result, so we need to be sure about that. Now the stress is reduced to 198, correct? Even the displacement is reduced. It was 4.2 in the previous, it is reduced to 3.5. And if we talk about the factor of safety, let me just highlight this. Yes, factor of safety is now 1.3. It is increased a little bit, but my main consideration is to check the fatigue of this part. Yes, now let me just check this life of the product. Yes, now the minimum cycle what this could withstand is increased tremendously to 13 million cycles, correct? So with the small change in design, the life of the product has increased tremendously. The minimum life is over here, which we will be using for my design consideration. So this is my second design in which I am getting the values good. It is more than 7 million cycle. In fact, it is double than what I require. Correct? Likewise, I am having the last design. So if you could understand how quickly I checked multiple designs, it is very easy to validate multiple designs in this software. Now this is my last design. I made some tremendous changes in the last design also. So I created this curve over here, correct? So I want to check whether such design is suitable. So again, the stress I am getting here 248 MPa. The displacement what I am getting is again 1.8. And finally the factor of safety. So you can do comparative analysis of various designs what you are having in your hand. So FOS is the minimum. It is just above 1. Correct? And finally, let me check the fatigue life of the product. So life I am getting very less, which is just 1 million cycle. Now this design is the worst between all the three designs. Correct? So this is how easily you can compare the different designs and do comparative analysis. So you can conclude which is the best design of your product. Yes, now coming to the conclusion part of my product, of my webinar, which is motion analysis. So motion studies are graphical simulation of motion for assembly models. Now let me take an example of this machine. Correct. Now it is one machining center in which there will be head movement, there will be rotating movement, there will be much vibrations coming on this product. And I want to check what is the motion. So you can find critical joint forces, you can find what is the peak acceleration and other motion loads. Now let me just jump on to the part. Yes. Now this is my assembly. It is made up of various parts like vertical structure. Then there is this vertical guide over here behind, right? Then there is entire drill housing assembly which is made over here. Correct. Now we have seen the SolidWorks simulation. Now with activating the SolidWorks motion tab, you will be able to do the motion analysis of your product. Again, I am repeating, it is a single window software. You can do 2D modeling, 3D modeling, right? Even drawings, assemblies, simulations, etc. in a single window. No need to change from one software to other software. Correct? As in this case, I want to apply certain motions to the part. Like I want to apply rotary motor. So with the help of all the features which are mentioned over here, yes, now this will be rotating, this entire head will be rotating. So you can apply the motion in the form of data points, correct, in form of cycle. So there are ways by which you can apply this rotating motion to any of the product. Like starting 0 seconds, it is at 0 degree. For 3 seconds, it will turn to 90 degree and it will stay 90 degree till 6 seconds. Correct? So you can actually have control of this motor. Correct? Even you can apply linear motor, you can apply springs, dampers, forces. Yes, gravity can be applied, etc. Like in this case, I have applied linear motor, which is nothing but actuation. This drill would be going down and it will perform its task of drilling. So I want to pull that drilling tool right from the housing assembly. So you can apply rotary motor, like in this case, till 6 seconds it will reach 800 mm in depth for its drilling activity. Correct? I hope you are following all the things. And finally, let me calculate this. So this is rotation and this is 800 mm. Correct? And then even you can plot various results, like what is the magnitude of tool head motion, what is the linear acceleration I am getting, what are the peak accelerations I am getting. Correct? So there are various sets of results from which you can plot. For example, I want to check the translation motion, translation movement. I'll just make this plot over here. Correct? So this is my time versus the plot. Correct? Now let me come to the next scenario. I'll jump back to the presentation. Yeah, this is just how I made the simplification. This is vertical support, this is tool column, this is tool head. Correct? And I want to do the first analysis as I've shown you, the tool column rotation and tool head forward movement. Correct? It rotates and the tool comes forward. Now this is my second motion that I want to achieve. I want to achieve simultaneous tool column rotation and tool head forward. Right? So both the movements I want to do it simultaneously. So what will happen if I combine the two movements? So again, Yes, so if you look closely, so before actually it rotates, the tool head comes out, correct? And finally, the third one, the tool column rotates, the tool head moves forward, then it reverses, come back to original position, correct? So with this multiple movements, you can create in your motion analysis, and you can do further in-depth analysis of this. What will be the best possible movement that I can achieve? What are the reaction forces coming on this, correct? So these are few more examples like the capabilities. Even you can do time dependent motion analysis, as you can see on the right side of the image, correct? So this is the extent up to which you can do the motion analysis in this SolidWorks motion. Now talking about benefits, so you can make use of your design mates that you have created in your assembly. Then you can build database for event based loads. This also includes your motor, actuator, even cam sizing. All these types of analysis can be done. Optimize spring, dampers, cam drives, latch mechanisms, calculate contact forces, and finally you can even transfer your motion loads to SolidWorks simulation and check the strength of the product. So this is very interesting part of load transfer. So coming to the conclusion part, what we have seen until now, I have just explained you the general idea or the importance of motion, importance of simulation. Then I performed linear static analysis, right, in which we saw the bracket example. Then we did the parametric design analysis, right? So we changed various design features, we changed the loading conditions, and checked how easily you can do multiple analysis together. Then the fatigue analysis, in which we checked the fatigue strength of your product, how much life cycles it can withstand, correct? And finally we concluded with the motion analysis. So let me give the summary. Like, after building your model, you need to make sure that it performs efficiently in the field, correct? Now this is the bottom line of any product. Now in the absence of analysis tools, this task can only be answered by performing expensive and time consuming product development cycles, correct? So in the absence of any analysis tool, most of the industries, they will do the actual testing of the product, which is time consuming and very costly. Now product development cycle typically includes like building the product, then prototyping, then testing it, then again evaluating the results, then again modifying based on the test results. Now this is a very typical product development cycle, correct? Now this cycle continues until a satisfactory solution is reached. But what will this analysis help you in accomplishing? So reduce the cost by simulating the testing of your model, correct, on the computer instead of expensive field test. Reduce the time to market by reducing the number of development cycles. Yes, so if your product is taking 3 months to manufacture and deliver, right? So with the analysis tool, it can be done within 15 or a month, right? So the time to market can be reduced. And improve the products by quickly testing many concepts and scenarios before taking the final decision. So this is virtual testing. So design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. So finally, we need to be sure that it works, correct? So the main outcome of any product is that it should work according to our convenience. It should not fail. So what is the impact on product design without simulation, correct? So the decision making is something like this. like if you are not using the simulation and you do much more calculations, right? So the decision making becomes very difficult. So this is just a simple video which I'd like to focus over here. So if you are not like designing the product, correct, and what if it fails if you are not done the simulation? So it is an accurate calculator of your product health, right? So we are all engineers, we are all product engineers, what we can say. So it is an accurate calculator of product design health. So if you have any more doubts, so you can reach out to us. So you can visit our website, correct? Or else you can type it in the chat window so that I would answer if there are any. So the chat window is open. So if there are any doubts, you can type it in here, or you can unmute and speak, or else you can contact us on the website. Okay, so it seems if you are not having doubts right now, so you can contact us anytime on this email ID, or you can reach out to us from this mobile.